Hello. So this is going to be the start of the F250 project. This truck has been sitting out here for a long time. Now the thumbnail on this video is going to be different. It's going to be sitting in a different spot. It actually was sitting up there on the hill. I moved it from that location a little over 2 years ago, and the reason for that was we didn't actually live here at that point, and it was my wife's grandparents that lived here, and they gave us the truck, and so I moved it to our house where we were living before, and now we bought the place and we've moved back here, or moved here, and this is where the truck's ended up now. Other than that, I haven't done a whole lot with the truck since it was sitting there. I did learn that the engine is seized in it, and I cleaned up the cab a little bit, and I got it so the door would open. But as you can see, that it's pretty stiff again. But there's a little bit of rust in the floor, not completely terrible, but it was sitting outside for a long time, and some kids came and busted every single window out of it, so that's a big bummer. It is I think they call it a style side box. It's an 8-foot box, and it has a wood floor in it, which is no longer there. Obviously, I threw some plywood in there just so I could set stuff on it. All of this stuff you see here is not from this truck. All of this stuff is extra parts. I bought another engine and transmission for this truck. It's the same thing that's in the truck now, but I still want to try to get this one going. So the goal of today is to fill the whole engine up with diesel fuel, and all the cylinders, the oil pan, everything. I'm just gonna completely fill it up as much as I can with, I think I got 5 gallons of gas, diesel. So I'm just gonna fill the whole engine up, and we're gonna let it sit till this fall. So this is kind of the intro to the project, but we're not gonna actually be working on it for a little while yet. I just wanted to get this soaking for a little bit. I did put some like PB Blaster in all the cylinders like 2 years ago when I first did this, and it's been sitting with that in there for 2 years, and I haven't tried to see if it has freed up at all since then. So what we're gonna do today is just put the diesel in the engine and let it sit even longer, and then this fall I plan on pulling it up to the house and then trying to work on it from there. If we can't get this engine freed up, then we're gonna pull this engine and put the one that I got in this one, which that one's probably not the best, but it supposedly ran and it's not seized up, so it should work. I don't know the reason why this truck was parked. It was my wife's grandfather's truck that he used on the farm here, and I know that it didn't have any brakes or very little brakes, so that was a major thing. It is a 4-speed with the synchronized transmission, which is, I believe, a unique option. Other than that, I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure it's a 65. I can't really remember. Oh, the door does open, so that's good. Let's see, VIN plate right here. Wheelbase is 129, color C, F250, body is 381, transmission is N, and axle is 24. So you probably can figure out the year based off that. I'm pretty sure it's a 65 because it was the first year of the twin I-beam suspension, so whatever year that was. This door sagged. Yeah, the hinges on this door are loose, so when you open the door, it like pushes down. So I guess let's try to pop the hood here. We got a bunch. I had a cover on it at one point, and the wind blew it off. Oh, there's a wasp there. There's probably a wasp nest in there, which is not good. I might want to go get some wasp killer real quick, because there's a really good chance there's a wasp nest in there, and I don't really feel like getting stung today. So I'm gonna run up to the house, get some wasp killer, and then I'll be back. All right, I don't really know if I got the wasps or not. I just sprayed some stuff over here and they seem to, oh, there's one back. No, that doesn't look like it was a wasp. They seem to have gone away. I don't know. We'll see. So this is the truck. The plate on it says 73, and I'm pretty sure that was the last year it was driven. I don't know about the back plate. I forget what the back plate says. It's probably the same, I would hope. The back one says 74, so it's probably 73, 74 was the last time it was registered, obviously, because it was there. So I guess we'll try to pop the hood. Hopefully nothing will pop out and sting me. Oh, I see one right there. Something's dying. Looked like they were in and around that headlight, so looked like one came crawling out, so hopefully I got him. I guess we'll find out when I pop it open. Scary stuff. Kind of forget how this pops open, to be completely honest. Okay, it looks like it's already popped. Ugh. There has to be like a secondary latch, I would think. Ugh. I'm not sure. Alright, I got the hood open. That hinge I unbolted because it was seized. That one's still on there. But I don't see any hornet nests or anything like that in here, or wasp nests. So that's a good sign. They must have just been in that headlight. So I did take the radiator out. That is the radiator sitting back there, which I did not realize I did, but everything else looks like it's here. I took some of the throttle cables off the carburetor, but I didn't remove the carburetor. I remember that. Looks like I took the plug wires off and stuff. I cut the radiator hose. But the engine's still intact. You can see it's extremely oily. And there's a good chance actually I'm pretty sure he never changed the oil. So, I guess we're just gonna fill her up with good old diesel fuel. And we'll go from there. I don't know if there's anything in the dipstick or not. Oh yeah. It's actually right at the low mark, so that's actually kind of amazing. It doesn't really, it's super black, but at least it has stuff in it. I'm pretty sure I left the spark plugs out. Yeah, I did. So the spark plugs aren't actually in there. I actually might go get my camera and shove it down the holes of the spark plugs and see what it looks like. I'm gonna go grab that real quick. Alright, so let's see if we can shove this down these spark plugs. See what the cylinders look like. Don't really see a whole lot in that one. Oh, that one, you can see the pistons way down at the bottom. It actually doesn't look too terrible. Here, I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. Oh wow, it's going to be really hard. You can kind of see right there, pistons down at the bottom. It doesn't look rusty though, so that's a good sign. I'm going to check the rest on, we'll see how it goes. Well, it's hard to say. They all look about the same. There might be some on that side that look a little rusty, but I say we just fill them up with diesel and let it sit. And I'm probably actually going to pour some diesel down the intake too. It's really not going to hurt. And then I'll just turn it over, or if we can get it to actually spin, then I'll just crank it a bunch. And I'm probably going to pull the intake manifold off anyway. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to fill up right here, fill up the oil pan, and fill up all of the cylinders. I'm going to do the cylinders first, then we'll go from there. It's going to be really fun to do. Don't have a whole lot of room. The hood's not open very far because I couldn't find a stick long enough to actually hold it up, so I just shove this in here and hope I get in there decent enough. I don't know if this is gonna work, but well, we're leaking a bunch. Oh, that cap is busted, that's probably why. Looks like that's as full as we're getting that one. Next. That one's full. Yeah. Hopefully it just went right down the next one. That one's already full. Piston probably wasn't down very far on that one. Alright, last one. I hear it leaking past the piston rings down into the oil pan. That's a good sign. Maybe I should fill this up first. Let's see if I can get this in here. I don't know how full it is. Pretty full. I think it's like up to here. It's probably a good sign. I think I'm gonna fill the other side real quick. Make sure all those cylinders got diesel in them. We have plenty of diesel left, so I'm just gonna go until this is gone or it won't take anymore. So let's see what we get to first. Alright. Try not to hit our hood prop so we don't die. See, that cylinder still has some other fluid in it. So there's a good chance that one hasn't leaked through, which probably isn't a good sign. So that was pouring out the exhaust manifold, so that one tells me that that exhaust valve is open. Well, those are all full. They're as full as they're gonna get. So, I think the rest I'm just gonna pour in the crankcase. I might try to get some on this side if I can get this out. I don't even know what that's going to. I think it's just a breather. Actually, I know it's just a breather. There we go. I'm just gonna pour some down this side too. If I can get this in there. There we go. This will get some on both sides this way. Clean the top of the heads out, hopefully. This might loosen up any stuff that's in the oil pan too. I do have another carburetor off of the other engine, which seemed to be in decent shape, so I might just swap the carburetor out. They look exactly the same. And like I said earlier, if we can't get this engine freed up, we're just going to swap out to the other one. And the transmission in this, it shifted out of first gear, I believe it was in, to neutral. But it's super stiff, so I kind of wanted to fill it with diesel fuel as well. Maybe I'll save probably the rest of this to put in the transmission. So, flip that whole back up. There we go. Alright. Yeah, nothing can get down there. There's still the thermostat there, so nothing can get in there. So, that's pretty much all under here. We're just gonna let this sit for a while and hopefully it will free up, but who knows. So we're gonna close this up and then we'll probably get some tools and take the shifter off of the transmission, and then we'll fill that up with some diesel too. Hopefully get some stuff on the gears in there. I'm not 100% sure how to get that off. I might need to take that plate off the top. I'm not sure. I was hoping I could just turn that collar and pull it off and pull the shifter out, and then I could just pour it right in there. That was my plan. I'm gonna look into it. Once I figure it out, I'll get back to you. All right. Thought was that this would just spin off of here, but I really don't know. Yeah, it's very yucky. That's tight on there. I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to get this freed up right here. Yeah, I don't know. I think what would be best would be actually take this cover off and then get to the top of the transmission, but honestly I don't feel like it's going to be that big of an issue. I feel like if we can get the engine going, then I can deal with this later. So it does move a little bit. It's super stiff though, but I don't know. I think we're just gonna worry about the engine for now and then worry about this later. But you can see here, mileage 98,729. It's a lot of miles, honestly, for this. But I don't know. It's probably not worth saving, but it's really cool. And I thought if I could actually get it running and driving, and especially with the style side box or whatever, I think it's pretty cool, or flare side or whatever they called it. It's just a unique looking truck, and I like the original aspect of it. It has some dents and stuff like on the top of the cab. It's pretty bad, but honestly I really don't care. You can get a window kit for this with all the seals and everything. The only thing that I'd need to repair is the sealing part around the front windshield is rusted off, so that would need to be repaired, which I can do. It's not that big of a deal. Need a new gas tank, needs all new brake. Like, it's gonna take some work, but if I can get it running, I would be way more motivated to actually fix the rest of it. The frame is solid on it. Suspension all looked fine, so I think that's probably gonna be it for this episode. Lift this door up. Get it somewhat closed anyway. So it's a cool looking truck. I like it. Must have had some damage down there at some point because it looks like there's Bondo and stuff down there. But hope you like this short little episode. I know you're probably hoping to see a little bit more of this, but this fall we will get to it. And hope you like this video, and if you did, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.